I don't know whether you've come across this clip which is doing the rounds on social media, but let me speak plainly. There's no humour in cruelty, no innocence in malice, and no excuse for targeting children with acts of prejudice dressed up as entertainment, particularly if you're making money out of it. Last week in Greater Manchester, two men filmed themselves driving through Broughton Park area, home to a large Orthodox Jewish community, and spraying Jewish adults and children with water pistols from their car. Broughton Park is it should be a place of calmness and of safety. Instead, it isn't. They added klezmer-style music and posted the footage online, laughing as they drove away and winking at the camera. I think it was winking anyway. This wasn't spontaneous, light-hearted stuff. It wasn't a skit. It wasn't. It was calculated, cowardly, and cruel, and it was designed for attention, for clicks, likes, and ultimately profit based on anti-Semitic bile. What happened was not merely a prank, it was an act of harassment motivated by anti-Semitism, by racist intent. As the Community Security Trust, the CST, has rightly noted, this was appalling and anti-Semitic. And it came with a disturbing online echo chamber of comments ranging from trivialization to full-blown Holocaust references. One commentator asked, what about a gas prank? This isn't satire. This is sadism. It's bullying dressed up in the vocabulary of internet humour, targeted precisely because of visible Jewish identity. And to suggest this is comparable to similar jokes involving non-Jewish participants is not only false but grotesquely ignorant. Humour relies on consent, and the Orthodox children in this video were not willing participants, they were victims. And it exposes a growing moral numbness. When anti-Semitic abuse becomes part of social media content, it reveals a culture where dehumanization has become currency. It targets the vulnerable, and this wasn't aimed at power or political elites. It was aimed at children in yarmulkes and women in headscarves, and it makes it not only bigoted but cowardly, and it blurs the line between digital and physical violence. Online pranks spill into real-world harassment, and the internet may reward it with algorithms, but the streets pay the price in fear, and it plays into rising anti-Semitism. The 2024 CST report showed a 35% increase in UK anti-Semitic incidents, the highest since records began. And against that backdrop, this isn't harmless, it's another drop in a poisoned well. It shows a failure to distinguish criticism of Israel from hatred of Jews, and whatever one's views on Gaza or Netanyahu, that doesn't entitle anyone to vent hatred on Jewish school children in Salford. What should happen next is a much more interesting prospect. Should there be prosecution, the perpetrators must face, I think, real legal consequences, just as Alex Belfield faced real legal consequences for his harassment and pursuit of Jeremy Vine, Philip Dehaney, and so on. A hate crime has been recorded, and let justice follow swiftly. TikTok and Instagram should remove not just this video, but the entire account if it's clearly dedicated to this type of vicious harassment. This is not expression, this is incitement. And a platform should take responsibility. This is what the online safety is all about. Online safety doesn't seem to be working, does it? But that doesn't surprise me at all, because it's a poorly drafted, poorly executed bill, act. Schools, influencers, and faith groups must urgently address the basic civic distinction between disagreement and hate. And if young people cannot see the difference between a plank and persecution, then we are failing them. And this isn't a Jewish problem, it's a British problem. And every decent citizen, every decent subject of His Majesty should be outraged that this happened on our street. We must not normalise the weaponisation of visibility. Religious dress is not an invitation for mockery. Children are not punchlines, and communities that have survived pogroms and genocide shouldn't now have to dodge toy guns from a moving car for someone else's 5 seconds of fame and a cheap clickbait clock-up of money. This wasn't a joke, it was a warning, and the question is whether we choose to laugh it off or to stand up and condemn it. I think we should condemn it.